We have our flush pot. There's no air on the gauge yet, and the reason for that is I like to make sure the coupling block is attached to our adapter block and the bolt is tight. The other thing is to make sure all your valves are closed before you apply air to this. If you apply air to this and one of these valves is open, it's immediately going to send flush product to wherever your bolt might not be tight, whatever. So we make sure that our valves are closed, and then we're going to put the air onto the air fitting. We have a pressure gauge here. 100 psi is the maximum allowable pressure for this pot. It will become very unsafe if you go above that, and it's really all we need to accomplish what we want to do. So we're going to turn our air valve on. And we're going to see our needle start to move. We want to do this slowly. We don't want to blast it with air in case something is not right, either the pressure relief valve or the seal on the flush pot. So we're going to bring this up to 100. And then we're going to close our air valve completely. We're going to disconnect our air. We need our air for the air purge gun in order to flush it. That's what activates the mixing chamber and allows us to have material move through the fluid head and through the mixing chamber. So we will now disconnect our air, and we will set up our bucket to flush into. There's a couple different ways to do this. The easiest way I found to do it is to have the trigger pulled before you apply air to it. The way an air purge gun works is that when you let off the trigger, air continuously flows through the mixing chamber to remove chemical from it, as opposed to a mechanical purge gun with a valving rod. So in order to not make a huge mess and get doused with whatever chemical you're flushing with, it's best to have the trigger pulled, which shuts the air off to the mixing chamber, just like you'd be spraying foam, and allows you to then manually turn the valve on at the gun, which will flush that through. When you're done with that, disconnect the air and then release the trigger. If you release the trigger before you disconnect the air, the bucket of flush will then get a shot of air into it, and you're going to wind up wearing it. So I'll get this set up for the next segment, and we will go through flushing the fluid out of this gun and making it ready for disassembly.